about 1 in 10 children in the US have a parent with a disability. That's about 4.4 million people in the US. And people with disabilities are more likely to report health disparity and socioeconomic disparity, such as housing, food, and economic insecurity. Um, we know that people with disabilities are more or less having children at the same rate as their non-disabled peers, but especially for people with intellectual and developmental disabilities, they may be more likely to have adverse birth outcomes, and they may be more likely to interface with child welfare agencies. And when they interface with child welfare agencies, they're often more likely to have their parental rights terminated. And I think as we talk today about anxiety, um, this is an important piece. I come at this wearing many different hats. I have cerebral palsy and I use a wheelchair, and I have an 8-year-old daughter. So when I talk about this topic, even as I'm moderating, it's personal for me too.
So there's always a perception. So I would call it, in my opinion, a societal perception of whether or not a person with a disability can function in normal life. Um, because most of us, at least in media, are perceived as, oh, the inspiration, or, and I'm not inspiration porn. It's like, no, I am a fully capable woman. I may have to do things differently, but I'm a fully capable woman. It's a hard lesson to
So I
learn.
had parents who were dealing with being seniors, and I was living at home with them, and I found out that I was going to have a baby. I was married at the time, and we were living with my parents. And so at first there was a lot of joy, this was going to be a grandchild, and you know, life is always wonderful to celebrate. But internally, I did have a lot of questions. The first thing I was afraid of was that these children are going to have the same disabilities I do. I'm visually impaired. I'm one-sided hearing impaired, deaf on one side. And at that time, I was beginning to deal with the mobility challenges that I had, and energy challenges that I had. And I was so afraid that they were going to develop these things as well.
It's almost like our pregnancies as disabled people are never, ever universally celebrated. And we hear this in our research, and I hear this from folks I talk to on a weekly or monthly basis providing technical support, that there's this worry and this fear, and there's not always a pause to celebrate a pregnancy that may be very much wanted.
What helped was I built a tribe. I call it the tribe of women who were either successful parents or who were, had that strong wisdom. And I really believe they helped me go through, because there was a point where I seriously contemplated not keeping my sons. I contemplated that they might be better, and not necessarily in the system, but with another family, or a more complete family. I mean, literally, it was myself and 2 children. And so, and I had very strong women who said, "Oh, no, we're not even going down that road. We're not thinking about it. What do you need?" And so there was a rally of friends, some members of faith-based organizations that were like, what do we need to help you and support you?
So they matched me up with another therapist who was fantastic. And she told me, one of the biggest things that she told me is, it's okay to fall apart. It's okay to let your body do what it needs to do, because my entire life I'd been fighting it. I'd been fighting against spasms. I'd been fighting against, um, you know, life, love, and the pursuit of happiness.
You are going to figure it out. I mean, literally, you are going to figure it out. It is okay to maybe stumble a bit and make a mistake and have to backtrack and move forward again. That's part of life in general. And as a person with a disability, like Jenny says, we are already overcomers and multitaskers and figure it out and stick-to-itiveness. You have every right to bring a life into this world, to love that life, and to raise that child. You have every right. And don't let anyone make you feel that somehow you are less than.